Hey guys, Taryn Hartle here, and today I'm gonna read a story that I wrote to all of you. It's called Spyro, A Little Piece of Heaven, based on the song A Little Piece of Heaven by Avenged Sevenfold, my favorite rock band. And yes, it is a short Spyro Halloween story that I wrote. And there's gonna be blood and gore, and I know, but hey, you know how it is, right? Alright, so here we go. Spyro, A Little Piece of Heaven, written by Taryn Hartle, aka Tarzan Withers. That's me. Once upon a time, in the artisan's homeworld, there lives two dragons, male and female. Their names are Spyro and Cinder. While they're going on a date, the other dragons and the mythical creatures set up the jack-o'-lanterns and the decorations too. Tomorrow is Halloween, and it is the day of all the spooks and scares with the treats and fun. At dinner time, Spyro made some macaroni salad for both himself and Cinder. They eat together and talked as the sun sank to the ground and the sky became dark. Feeling tired, Spyro fell asleep on the table with his head beside the bowl of macaroni salad. Cinder sighed for a moment. Then she called out, "Spyro! Hey Spyro! Wake up, sleepyhead!" Spyro gasped as he opened his eyes and lifted his head back up. "Oh, yes? What is it? You look so tired." "Yeah, sorry about that." Spyro giggled nervously as he turned to the window and then back to her. "It sure is going to be a long night, isn't it?" Cinder looked out the window to see the stars in the sky. "Yep, it sure is all right." Then she turned back to Spyro. "By the way, I want to ask you something." "What is it?" "Will you marry me?" she smiled. Spyro giggled. He was about to say something, but a pinch of pain had appeared on the side of his neck as he put his paw on it. Ow! It must have been a cramp, he thought, as Cinder stopped smiling and slurped up all the macaroni until her bowl is empty. As she leaped off her chair and walked into the kitchen, Spyro asked, "Hey, where are you going?" "Just gonna give you something," she sighed. "Like what?" "This." She came back out of the kitchen with a knife in her hand. She charged directly at Spyro with the knife angrily as he fell off his chair in fear. Spyro began to ask her nervously, Hey Cinder? What? What is it? Could you please not kill me? I never done anything wrong at all. It was just a cramp on my neck, that's all." "Well, too bad." Cinder held the knife in the air like she is gonna stab Spyro, but he blew fire at her face. She fell over as the knife flew off her hand and down into her chest. Spyro gasped in fear as guilt began to claw his head. Blood began to drip down as he stared at her motionless body. Spyro, he began to drown in the sea of sorrow as he went down on his knees with his eyes closed. "I'm sorry, Cinder. I was just about to say yes. That's all. I hope you forgive me." Hours had passed. Spyro had already put Cinder in a coffin that he bought at the store, and now it's lunchtime. As he put the two slices of bread into the toaster for 3 minutes, the guilt that is locked in his thoughts kept bothering him because of what happened and what he didn't mean to her. The toast popped out of the toaster and he carefully set them onto the plate. Next, he opened the fridge and he took out spinach, mustard, and a heart. Wait, a heart? How did that get in here? Spyro scratched his head in confusion as he looked at the cabinet door full of pots and pans. He shrugged and rinsed it and took out a frying pan, poured a little bit of cooking oil on it before he placed the heart on. The sizzling sound in his ears and the smell in his nostrils made him feel so good that all the bad memories went away and vanished. With the heart now fully cooked, he placed it on a piece of toast along with the spinach and the mustard, and then set another piece of toast on top of the stack. A spinach and heart sandwich. It tastes delicious when he took a bite, and then he ate the whole thing. He still didn't know why the heart was in the fridge or how it got in here. It seems like the day today is Halloween as he checked the calendar. Good thing he already set up the jack-o'-lanterns this morning. 7 more hours had passed by, and the sun began to drop down. The sky grew darker, and the trick-or-treaters already went out for candy. Spyro turned on the television and served it over to the exercising channel. He did 20 jumping jacks and then 50 push-ups. It sure is exhausting for him, but he tried his best. He heard a knife slipping out of its holder. Hello? Who's there? That's when he heard the familiar voice. Hello, Spyro. Just having a wonderful day? Yeah? Who are you? How did you know my name? Spyro wondered. Enjoy the heart? Spyro's eyes widened. How did she know that he ate the heart that was in the fridge? Anxiety began to rise in his brain as he answered the question. Yes, it was delicious. Yeah. I'm glad to hear that. Also, why don't you just go kill somebody else instead? What? No, it was just an accident, Spyro shuddered. I didn't mean to blast fire in Cinder's face. Pardon me. I was doing that for self-defense. It's okay. You said yes, and I forgive you. That's why I gave you my heart. Spyro's heart dropped down in the speed of a falling golf ball as he watched the silhouette move closer to the doorway in front of him until he couldn't believe his eyes. Her pupils are light gray. There's blackness running along the outside of her eyes, and she has a hole in her chest where her heart used to be. And yes, she's holding a knife, the same knife that she used in an attempt to kill Spyro but failed. Cinder? No, it can't be. You were dead. I was, Cinder laughed. Now I'm undead, and you'll be too. Spyro's stress level went up into panic mode as Cinder held the knife in the air. He dashed out of the house and began to run as quickly as he can. He turned his head behind him, and she is chasing after him while holding a knife. Somebody, please help! That zombie is trying to kill me! He flapped his wings and flew into the air. He hoped that she can't fly because she is a zombie, and zombies can't fly. He sighed in relief as he continued to fly in the night sky. A dragon dropped down on him, and they both fell and landed right in the middle of the cemetery. He pushed her off and got up as he ran away in fear. He saw Mosalem ahead, so he ran inside it and locked the door behind him. She tried to push the door open as Spyro backed away. The door ripped open and she got inside. Spyro shook in fear as he begged, "Could you please not kill me? I didn't mean to kill you. It was just an accident. That's all." Well, too bad. Cinder held the knife in the air like she is going to stab Spyro, and this time she pushed his head upward and threw the knife into his chest. Spyro coughed a bunch until he faded away. Cinder smiled as she cut a hole in his chest and ripped his heart out and ate it whole. "I'm sorry, Spyro. I just love you so much, and that's why I would like you to join me from beyond the grave. That's all." A few minutes passed, and she watched Spyro slowly moving his arm and opening his eyes. She smiled with excitement as he looked up at her. Spyro's eyes now have blackness running along the outside and light gray pupils. He gasped in fear with his head back against the corner. "What happened? What's going on?" Cinder laughed. "Good, you're awake." Spyro saw her. "Cinder?" He looked down and saw the hole in his chest. "Oh no." "That's right. I killed you, and now you're undead." Spyro sighed for a moment and stood up. "Well, we're both zombies, so now what?" Later, the zombie priest is with them outside in the cemetery. The two dragons held their hands with their eyes on each other as the priest asked, "Do you take the zombie dragon as your husband?" "Yes, I do." The priest then turned to Spyro. "And you, do you take the zombie dragoness as your wife?" "I do," Spyro smiled. He felt a moment that being a zombie isn't so bad after all. I now pronounce you husband and wife. You may now kiss the bride, the priest continued. Cinder put her lips on Spyro's and the two kissed together. It is such the most romantic thing that Spyro ever had. After the wedding, the two dragons walked out of the cemetery together. Okay, what should we do now? Spyro asked. We should kill everyone together, as a couple, Cinders laughed. Spyro looked at her for a moment, and then he made a decision. Since we're zombies, we can eat some brains, and that's what zombies do. So yes, let's do this. The couple went to the logging site and stole some chainsaws, and they began to slice up the creatures and the other dragons. They had a wonderful time while eating the brains that they took from the dragons' heads. Everything went completely romantic for the two until Spyro suddenly heard a voice. Spyro! Hey Spyro, wake up, sleepyhead! The blackness vanished as Spyro opened his eyes and lifted his head up. The bowl of macaroni salad is sitting in front of him as Cinder is on the other side of the table. It was all just a dream. Cinder raised her eyebrow as she swallowed the bites of her macaroni salad. You look so tired. Spyro looked around and then sighed. Yeah, sorry about that. He paused for a moment and then continued differently. Just had a dream that we were zombies. Cinder nodded her head. Okay, it seems like you had an interesting dream. By the way, I want to ask you something. What is it? Will you marry me? She smiled. Spyro wasn't sure if he's still dreaming as he smiled. He's about to say something, but a pinch of pain had appeared on the side of his neck as he put his paw on it. Ow! Are you okay? Cinder asked. Spyro's eyes widened as he heard what Cinder said. Yeah, just a cramp on my neck. I thought you were gonna be mad and hurt me. Why would I ever hurt you? Cinder shrugged. I would never do that to you at all. Because that's what happened in my dream, Spyro sighed. Cinder slurped up another spoonful as she understood his reason. Oh, I see. Well, don't worry. It's all just a dream. Then she asked him again. So, will you marry me? Spyro nodded with passion as he smiled. And finally, he answered her question. Yes, I will. Don't worry. So, the end. So there you have it. And don't worry, it's just a story. I just made it up. And it's supposed to be a scary story, like a horror romantic story. It's supposed to be scary. That's why I wrote all the gore in this story. Because it's supposed to be scary. For Halloween. So, if you like this video, hit the like below. And don't forget to subscribe to me on my YouTube channel. And always, thanks for watching!